Yo, 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 yo. We back here, House of Vita Sports. We back here, House of Vita Sports. Yeah, go get your jorts. Hey, go get your jorts.
Hey, go quit your day job.
All right, man. Welcome back to another episode of House of Vita Sports Podcast. I am your host, Dwayne. I'm here with my guys, Chubbs, my guy, Smoog. How is everybody feeling today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad it's Friday. You know what I'm saying? Back from another basketball pod. I ain't been on a basketball pod in a minute.
So you haven't.
Yeah,
So
you've been on your hide your kids, hide your wives.
so you back. Glad to have you back. Joe is out. Got some work stuff, so he won't be able to make it. But we're gonna keep it going. First thing first, I want to do a shout out to all the fans, man. Shout out to everybody that's been listening each and every week. We hit a YouTube milestone, 25,000 views in total. Wouldn't do it without you guys. Continue turning up. We went a little viral on Instagram. We are currently, for our most recent reel, 15K, or I call Giannis overrated, and people didn't like it. I did say I was so excited when I was talking about him being overrated. I said he wasn't elite at defense. I still stand by that. I think he's a great defender, though. But I think when we use the words elite, I think we overuse that word today, and that's why people argue with me in the comments. That's it. And just know if I'm arguing with y'all in the comments, it's just to keep the engagement up. Like, I don't really care what y'all say. It is what it is. But I appreciate y'all. So keep turning up. You know, shout out Christian Ramos, man. He was going back and forth with me. Shout out to you, man. If you want to come on the pod and you don't like any of our takes, hit us with a DM, House of Vita Sports Podcast, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You know, comment on the YouTube video while we're here. Like, comment, and subscribe. And then if Twitter, you want to DM us, hdsportspod, man. This episode, we're going to be talking about top 5 underrated players of all time. Getting into the NBA Allstar announced starters that were announced. Talking about any snubs. Dame recently just dropped 70 points. We'll get into that. Talk about his Bam, the most underappreciated player in the game right now. And also get into what era of basketball was the best. And then lastly, you know we're back again with Mount Rushmores with the Knicks, Hawks, Bucks, and Suns. So before we get started, anything you guys want to say?
Nah, I don't really got much to say today.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about top 5 underrated players of all time, in your guys' opinion. So these are guys that people don't talk about. Maybe they do talk about them, but not in the light that you guys think they deserve to be talked about.
Well, as I talked to you before the pod, I had to kind of look at it. I said, how many old heads am I really gonna talk about? Because how can a Hall of Famer can be considered underrated? You know what I mean? And then I got some current players. So my list is a mixture of both. I don't know if y'all had difficulties picking your list, but mine's a little mixture of some old heads and some current players that I think are underrated, not just all time. But I'll start it off if y'all want me to.
Go ahead,
I'll start off with an all-time. People call this man underrated because he was on a team that was led by the greatest player ever to play the game. Scottie Pippen, I think, is considered an underrated player because he is basically was all-around player, two-way. He can get you buckets and he get you stops. And people never really gave him as much light because he had Michael Jordan on his team. So I think his career was severely underrated because if you remember, when Jordan left in that time period and he was still with the Bulls, he was actually playing really good basketball without Jordan. And then when he got to Portland, when he was out without Jordan, he wasn't the same Scottie Pippen, but he did play really good basketball without Jordan when Jordan was not on that Bulls team. So, and people really don't shed that light like they should. So he needs to get more flowers with that. So Scottie Pippen's my first one.
Smooth.
I'm gonna have to start off with, y'all might not agree. And my list personally, it is a mixture of current players as well as former players. And a lot of these players, or a few of these players, had they not got hurt, That's from my perspective. Had they not got hurt, they would have had a much better, season, and maybe we would be talking about him a little more. So I'm gonna start out by saying Danny Granger. We don't talk about Danny Granger a lot. When he was playing in Indiana, he was a big part of that team. He was averaging healthy. Danny Granger was averaging 22 plus points. He never really played a full season other than his first 2 years, and I really think that's the reason why that team lost to that Miami team. Because once he got hurt, that was a big piece for them. So I'm gonna say Danny Granger.
I like all of yours first ones. I think I agree. Scottie Pippen, in 72 games without Jordan in 93 to 94, gave 22, 8.7 rebounds, 5.6 assists, with damn near 3 steals a game at 2.9. A lot of people disrespect Scottie. They act like Jordan would have won it with anybody else. When I think if it's not Scottie, then no one else wins that, in my opinion. So I definitely think Scottie's vastly underrated. I mean, he is considered a top 50 player all time, but I think he should be considered closer to that 20 top players of all time, where people have Giannis. And I guess I've been signaled as a Giannis hater, so I guess I'll live with it. Me and Smooth both have that title, apparently. Smooth, I feel like you being nice with Danny Granger. I don't know. I think the best thing Danny Granger could have been was
He did have a couple years though. He was All-Star. Like you got to give him that little credit. He people don't really talk to him about him like that. I can see where.
But was Danny Granger ever a top 3 small forward in the league?
I don't think he had the opportunity to be. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have the opportunity because again, he never played a full season. Even in the games what I'm looking at, or the season in which he played 67, 62 games, he was averaging 25, 24 points, bro. And he wasn't the first option. I wouldn't have considered him being the first option on that team.
Who was the first option?
He was the first option.
He was the first option
until he got hurt. Then PG took over.
Yeah,
but those years he was
before PG. He was
that was like
option.
it was what we would probably consider what a Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is. Right?
Nah, it wasn't. It was Danny Granger.
I'm not saying that talent, but as far as like one,
no, I don't think Paul ain't arrived until Danny got hurt. In my opinion,
that's why I don't think either. Like Paul, I think because Danny was like the face for a couple seasons.
Danny was the face, and then I think the next year
he got hurt.
Paul George came in. Yeah, Paul George came in that second year, but Danny was still averaging 25, 24 points, bro.
But he had a couple seasons without Paul.
Paul came in, I want to say 2009, 2010.
I'm pretty sure he had
maybe right before that.
A couple of seasons before Paul joined, then he got hurt. They're like, oh, we need to pick up Paul.
Yeah, I know he kept getting hurt, but I mean that's a guy. He's a what if guy.
Paul George came in 2010. Danny Granger averaged 25 in 2008 and 24 in 2009.
Yeah, those 2 seasons before. Yeah, they got Paul.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like
he got hurt.
He would have. Yeah, he would have been someone we was talking about. But again,
all right, Wayne, what's your first one?
All right, man. My first underrated player of all time. The first person I'm going to go with is Joe Dumars, man. I think Joe Dumars on that Pistons team, everybody know he was very pivotal. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas was the best player of all on that team, but Joe was right there with him, in my opinion, averaging during the years that they won 20 plus, especially in that era. That's a high scoring amount. I say he's underrated because Joe is never talked about as like one of the best shooting guards. Like when we start naming our top 5, top 10s, I feel like he's pushed towards the back where I think he should get a little bit more credit and be pushed more towards that top 5 number. So I have Joe Dumars. And it's crazy because anytime there's like a super athletic 2 guard that comes in the league, like when D-Wade was coming in, Victor Oladipo was coming in, it's like, yo, that's their comparisons. It's to Joe Dumars. And like I feel like Joe Dumars was really that guy, man. And we don't give him as much credit as we should, in my opinion. So that's why I got Joe Dumars, as my number 1 overall, my current first underrated player of all time. So,
like that. My second underrated player of all time. I'm going back to old head. If it wasn't for Patrick Ewing being the face of the Knicks, this man was probably would have been the face because of how dominant he was, and they didn't give him enough credit. Bernard King is a very underrated big man of all time. The dude was dominant. He averaged 22 in his career from playing the five.
I like
And when
that.
you when you're talking about big men all time, people never bring up his name ever. And he everywhere he went, he made an impact. You know, so Bernard King's gonna be my second underrated player of all time.
I'm gonna have to go with Clyde, man.
I like that.
Clyde
I like
Drexler.
that one. I like that one.
We don't talk about Clyde at all. He has awards, he has nominations, 50, top 50, top 75. But however, he was playing in Jordan's era. And I think we shed a lot on Jordan, arguably so. But Clyde Drexler was, I'm not going to say Clyde Drexler was a very, athletic, dominant player in his time. And I just don't think we talk about him enough. I mean, he's definitely a good player. He definitely has the stats to back it up, the awards, accolades, but he just normally outshined because he was playing against Jordan. Even in the dunk contest, you know what I'm saying? It was Jordan versus him, so yeah, I'm mad to go with
I
Clyde.
did listen to him as a
I
student.
agree with that. I feel like if it wasn't for Jordan, what we talking about Clyde being before Kobe, the best shooting guard going in all time. Like I don't really think a lot of people put Clyde in a top 4, 5, 3 shooting guards all time. So I like that. I like that a lot. My underrated player is Rashard Lewis. I feel like we don't talk about Rashard Lewis the way we should. In one of the hardest eras of basketball, he was a power forward, putting up 18, damn near 18 points a game. Real pivotal reason why the Orlando Magic went to the finals. We talked more about Hedo Turkoglu and those guys, but I think Rashard Lewis. I'm not saying he's like a top big man of all time, but during that era when we started naming like the top power forwards of that time, we name all these people, but we don't name Rashard Lewis. One of the first stretch bigs that we really see that could go out there and shoot it very efficiently, with shooting damn near 6 to 7 threes a game, and that was back in 2001. That 2001 to 2009 era, like early 2000s, and was giving you 20, giving you 22 when he was on the Seattle Supersonics. So definitely one of the slept on guys in my opinion. And I think we should talk about Rashard Lewis being more of a pioneer for what the stretch bigs are doing nowadays. So that's why I got Rashard Lewis as my second top. Yeah.
I like that. Y'all might not like my next one because some people think he is overrated because of his impact on the Bulls team. But I got Rodman. I think he was severely underrated just because of how his defensive impact was. Again, he's another impact of he was on Jordan's team. You know what I mean? So Jordan got a lot of the love. And then you see all these videos about him partying and whatnot and going out, and then just when it came to game time, he locked in. Like he was grabbing 16, 17 boards, and he was only 6'7". Even though it was a different time of game, people weren't as big as they are now. But I still believe Rodman had that dog mentality where if he played today, he's still getting them boards. He's still stopping people. He's got. I mean, you saying what's it called? Rashard Lewis paved the way. In a sense, the small ball. Rodman kind of faded away from
He
being a
faded
small
away
ball.
from
You know what I mean?
Ben Wallace and Draymond. I
So
got
so
it.
so so I got Dennis Rodman as my third one.
I
For
guess.
number 3, for me, I'm gonna have to go with Pager, bro. We don't talk about Pager either. I know he had a good team, but he was a big part of that team's success. Having Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, playing with Weber. Pager still was dropping buckets, shooting over 45% every single year, averaging 20 plus points on a team that had, a lot of names. Never really won anything, but I think his impact for the Kings was at times just overlooked because you also had players like Dirk, you had players like Turkaloo, Kirilenko. I feel like
AK
Pager was,
AK
yeah,
47.
47.
AK-47. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking about putting him up there, but I think Pager, he was better than what Kirilenko did. Um, So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Paige.
Is that Kings team the best team not to win a championship?
Arguably, I would say so. Yeah, I could say that. I could definitely
Might be
say
the
that.
yeah, that might be the best Kings team they ever had. Yeah.
Because I'm
Not the
trying to think of
best
all the
Kings team. I'm
teams
talking about best team of all time.
to not win a
Yeah.
championship. Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to think. Who else is up there with a team that didn't win? I think if Tatum and them don't win a championship,
yeah. That could go down. Yeah. That but yeah. Who is there at 5? The Kings.
Vadi, Divac.
Divock. Yep.
A lot of
Yep.
Divock was
All right,
lit.
so I actually found a list. Is that team better than the 2017, 2018 Rockets that never won one? All right, here you go. Here's a list of teams right
What is that,
now,
right
and I
for
want us
Austin?
to rank to see which teams
Oh, we
was the
finished.
best team.
We
Oh,
should be
that was the
finishing
James
our
Harden team.
underrated.
Yeah, we can finish the underrated, and then we can get into that. Which
What's
teams
your
were?
third one? What's your third one,
My
Wayne?
third one is Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard won MVPs,
Underrated.
defensive players a year. Well, I don't think he won MVP. Did he win MVP? I don't think he won the MVP.
No, he didn't win MVP.
Yeah, but
He
he was an
won
MVP.
defensive.
One defensive players a year, was an MVP. 1 point was considered the best big in the league, and he did not make the top 75 list. That's just where it goes for me. He didn't make top 75 list, so I think that's why Dwight Howard is one of the most underrated players in the league.
Like that. All right, my fourth one. Latrell
Not
Sprewell.
Oh my god!
Latrell
Not
Sprewell.
Sprewell.
Four-time All, but we don't talk about four-time All-Star. He was all rookie. And after his rookie season, he never averaged less than 15 points a game, and there was plenty of seasons he was dropping 20. In his career, 18.3, 4 and 4. He was a bucket. I don't know if y'all remember.
He rated right where he's supposed to be.
So underrated.
I wouldn't say this dude's underrated, but I mean, again, it's like a combination of who we don't talk about or who don't get talked about. We don't talk about Moses Malone in the limelight. We talk about Karl Malone, but Moses Malone, I guess, probably because he played back in that old school era. We tend to shed light on what was that era? Was that the Will? No, that's not that far. But
The
was
Dr.
that that far?
J's. What the Dr.
Yeah.
J's?
That was that era. But Moses Malone, he has a ring. He has MVPs. He has All NBA teams. He's on the top 75. But again, we just don't talk about him. But we don't even consider him one of the best bigs in the league of all time. And he kind of has an argument to be. He might be right outside top 7, top 8. But yeah, we need to start mentioning him a little bit more when we talk about bigs.
All right. Mine is Tim Duncan. I got Tim Duncan as one of the most underrated players for the simple fact is Tim Duncan is the best power forward to ever play the game, right? But when people start naming their top fives, Tim Duncan's name is rarely brought in that conversation. People think it's disrespectful if he's put in that top 5 conversation. When you really look at it, Tim Duncan is a top 5 player to ever play the game of basketball. And people have Kobe in front of him. I'm not one of those people. But people have certain people in front of Tim Duncan. When Tim Duncan played elite defense for 15 years, was one of the best two-way players of all time. And we don't give Tim Duncan the credit. Chubbs, I don't know why you're looking at me because it's Tim Duncan in your top 5.
We did a list. Wait, if you remember, he made our top 10.
Is
He
he
was
in
the
your
best power
top
forward.
5?
No, because he's not in our
Okay.
top 5. He's not even in your top 5.
He
We
is
made
in
a
my
list.
top 5.
We made a list. And he
He's
was
in
not
my
your
top 5.
Okay.
And that's an example of why he's underrated.
That
We
list
talked
didn't
about
mean
him in
anything
top five people all time. The list can change. What are we talking about right now?
Okay.
And we talk about top 5 people all the time. People will throw Kobe in there without a doubt, but they won't throw Duncan in there. They'll throw Magic in there without a doubt, but they won't throw Duncan in there. So that's why I have him as one. To me, he's the most underrated player on my list. So Tim Duncan.
Okay. This one's actually a current one for my last one. I got a couple of honorables. their current ones. But this guy doesn't get enough credit. He comes off the bench for the best team in the East. Malcolm Brogdon is, to me, he's underrated, dude. He's coming off the bench 19, 6, and 6. People don't talk about him, the team. It's all about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They talk about other people before Malcolm Brogdon.
You ain't watching basketball, bro.
Not Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon is underrated as hell.
Bro, he's a starting point guard that's taking a bench role on purpose. Everybody, that's the reason why people have them winning.
Don't talk about
He's not underrated because when he's starter, he's an average starting point guard. He's not underrated. He's as a 6-man, I guess he's a greatest 6-man. But as a starter, he's rated right properly, average.
That's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion when he's a starting point guard? Is he top 10, top 15?
He's better than you're alluding to.
Who?
Malcolm Brogdon.
Is he top 15 point guard in the league when he started?
He could be. Yes, he could be.
Oh my, Smoog, is Malcolm Brogdon a top 15 point guard in the league when he started?
He could be.
What is he talking about, Smoog?
I'm sorry, bro. I can't agree with that.
Like what?
That's fine. This is my list.
Yeah, it's his list though, bro.
That's a nasty list.
Okay. Just because I have one name that you don't like. This is typical Wayne. He's cooking.
I'm talking about Malcolm Brogdon, bro. I'm just talking about Malcolm Brogdon being a top 15 point guard. It's crazy.
Possible. People didn't talk about what's it called, De'Aaron Fox, not late before the season. He had a great year this year.
De'Aaron Fox has always been better than Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay.
Smooth. What you got, man?
Y'all might look at me crazy and y'all might think I'm biased, but we don't talk about Agent Zero like how we should, bro. One of the most underrated players. Healthy Gilbert Arenas would have been in an argument of being at least top 15 point guards of all time, bro. Playing on that Wizards team, he did a lot for him. He gave Kobe overrated Kobe 60. He was averaging 25 to 30 points, healthy. And he just changed the game. He was kind of doing Steph things before Steph. So I just don't think we talk about him a lot, except for when he wrote them things in the locker room. That's what we were going to give it for. But
I'm not gonna call you biased because they're definitely gonna call me biased for who I'm about to say. In my opinion, is the most underrated player of all time, and that is him, the Brody himself, Russell Westbrook.
How is he underrated, bro?
And let me tell you why Russell Westbrook is underrated. Because people won't put him in their top 5 point guards. I hear people say he's not a top 10 point guard of all time. And that's a lot of people in the world who say he's not top 10 point guard all time. So that's why he's underrated. Because outside of rings, when it comes to performances, no one has better performances than him. Out of all the top 5 point guards besides Steph Curry. After that, I can't put anyone else above him. I got Russ. I'm not saying he's the second best point guard all time, but he's in the top 5 for me. And I think a lot of people think that's a crazy take that I have Russ as a top 5 point guard all time. I think he's better than CP3 all time. When you look at everything, I think he's better than Steve Nash all time. Where people have him in front, I think he's better than John Stockton all time. Or who people have in front of him. So that's why I have Russ. I think he's one of the best playmakers in the last 10 to 15 years. So
I have a question for y'all, because back on last pod when we were doing research, for the overrated, you bring up Stockton, and a lot of lists called John Stockton overrated. Just even though he led the league in assists multiple times in NBA, but they call him an overrated.
A lot of people
player.
call him overrated because they say he just threw dump passes to Karl Malone.
Yeah. So all right. I did have 2 honorable mentions this year. Just because of their play, and some ones because of his team, and he doesn't get talked about enough. He makes a big impact. And the other one, he's just balling this year. He doesn't get talked about. Nick Claxton and Kyle Kuzma are on my underrated players.
What? Nick Claxton is not underrated.
Yes, he is. He did not get the praise he should be given.
They talking about he might win DP of OI. What are we talking about?
This year. We're talking about this year.
Hey, he only been good this year. What are we talking about?
Okay, Wayne.
He only been good this year.
He's an underrated player. People don't talk about Claxton.
Bro, you're not on NBA.
They're talking about recently.
Because he only been good recently. The hell? This year he's been amazing. But last year Nick Claxton was ass.
Underrated.
No, he not. He finally doing some shit. Now he underrated.
I have one honorable
And
mention.
Kuzma not underrated.
What do you mean?
What makes him underrated?
The fact that he's putting up 30.
So he's
And
doing what he
leading
was. So he was
Wizards to
doing what
team.
he was doing in LA before Braun.
He was
got on
doing.
there.
He was. Oh, okay. Before Braun got there. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and so that's what he's doing.
Thank
So
you.
that don't make him underrated. He's not a top 5 small for whatever position he plays. He's not top 5.
Why? So
He not
this is
top
my
10.
problem. This is my problem. Your criteria for underrated is so fucking high right now. You're talking about top 5, top 10.
But you're saying underrated. Well, all right. What is your criteria for saying someone's underrated? Because I see no way impossible Kuzma's underrated. What makes Kuzma underrated? He's having a good season. He's having a good season on a bad team.
No, because your criteria is top 5, top 10. They're not talking about top 5, top 10.
What is your
They're underrated.
criteria?
Bruh. My criteria is exceeding expectations. That's my criteria. And nobody was expecting Kyle Kuzma to have the year he was doing, because last year he was not doing this. He's exceeding expectations. He's balling at another level with the Wizards. They're not doing shit winning-wise. I'll give you that. But Kyle Kuzma's taken a step in his career being on the Wizards, having a bigger role. But people weren't talking about him like that. People still don't talk to him about it like that. He was getting some All-Star votes, but he didn't make it. He's underrated.
Does he deserve to be an All-Star?
For his play, I would say yes, because he was carrying the team. He was carrying the team when Brad Beal was hurt, bro. For what that's worth. But the only reason why he's not doing it or not making it is because of circumstances on the team he's on. They're losing. And he's not LeBron James.
Does he deserve to be an All-Star?
Who is this we're talking about?
Kyle Kuzma.
At the very end, he got votes. See, Wayne, this is why I don't. You make.
I just asked a question, bro. I just asked a question.
You're doing this thing.
You're
trying to make me look stupid. But
I'm not trying to make you look
are.
stupid, bro. I'm not.
Yes,
bro.
you are.
I'm not, bro. I'm not. I promise I'm not.
Stop downplaying Kyle Kuzma.
Hey, man, no comment.
Stop downplaying Kyle Kuzma.
There's nothing to downplay. He's definitely getting more shots this year, so he put in on more points. Last year he put up 17 and 8. This year he's averaging 22 and 7. He is taking 4 more shots a game, so that would equate to him doing that. So I just think Kyle Kuzma is doing what people kind of thought he would do, was when he has the opportunity to play on a bad team and put up a lot of shots, he's going to put up a lot of points. And that's why. I don't think he's underrated. Now, someone that is underrated is Bam. Bam is
No, you're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this.
It is a topic, Chubbs.
You're not doing this. He's not underrated by any means. But go ahead.
So
go
Bam
ahead.
Isn't underrated?
No.
Why isn't Bam underrated?
Because to me, he's a top 10 center. So how can he be underrated?
Because you're only talking to him in the light of him being only a top 10 center.
But he's a top 10 center. Why would he? Your criteria for underrated. He's a top 10 center. He's not underrated.
That's exactly why I say Bam is underrated and underappreciated.
He could be a top 5 center.
He's the best defensive player in the league, and they never talk about him in that way. You talking about he's top 10. Bam, after Embiid and Jokic, it should be Bam.
So he's a top 5 center.
You just said top 10. I'm going off what you just said.
I'm just throwing out your criteria was top 10, top 5.
Yeah, but no one talked to him about like that. People were saying that Robert Williams was better than him. Motherfuckers was telling me that
I don't know who you're talking to.
Vucevic was better than him.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Motherfuckers was telling me, who else they were saying? They're saying Sabonis.
Stop talking to John.
Sabonis was better than him. You know what I'm saying? Sabonis was better than him. I'm just saying, Bam is very unappreciated, and he is not felt the way that he should be felt. I think Bam doesn't get talked to in the light. They say Bam needs to be more aggressive. He's definitely been more aggressive this year. He's giving you 20 and 10. He's doing amazing things. At this point, he doesn't have any defensive player of the years when he should easily, in my opinion, have a defensive player of the year. No one ever says Bam is the best defender in the league, and he's clearly the best defender in the league. He's the only defender in the league that could switch 1 through 5 and literally legitimately switch 1 through 5. Like, he actually switches, and people who he guards 1 through 5, they go down. He guards, unlike Giannis, he goes out and guards the best big, and if there's a switch, he's gonna switch. Like, he's gonna, like, teams, their defensive mindset is to get Bam out of the paint and get switches so he can get on somebody in the corner because they know how effective he can be on the defensive end. So that's why I say Bam is underrated and underappreciated.
So Bam now, you're switching
and his
up.
offensive game has
Bam
greatly
should win
increased.
Defensive Player of the Year over Jaren Jackson now? Because, I mean, we were giving Jaren Jackson a shoe-in.
At the time, Jaren Jackson was Defensive Player of the Year.
So it's recency bias.
It's not recency bias. Jaren Jackson still probably, if he keeps playing the way he's going to play, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But Bam was in the conversation. And people were saying...
I'm saying Bam, you're saying Bam's never won it. Bam is in a league with some guys that are very good defensive players.
Oh, Jaren Jackson should win Defensive Player of the Year. That doesn't mean he's better than Bam at defense.
Yeah, Bam does do everything.
And Bam should have won it over Marcus Smart last year.
But the fact that we noticed that, we're not the only ones with eyes that are probably noticing that. You're talking about the talking heads only give the most credit to.
That's why I'm saying he's underrated and unappreciated.
But I'm saying if you go out and ask the common basketball fans,
nah, they won't. They won't.
They will say Bam's top 5. They will center. So again,
no, they won't. They won't.
He's not underrated.
He's underrated.
He's right where he's at.
No, he's not, Chubbs.
Yes,
people were telling me Rudy Gobert is better.
Are we saying that Bam is underrated?
Who's telling you Rudy Gobert?
As a player, I'm saying Bam is underrated as a player. Period.
Who's telling you Rudy Gobert's? Yo, stop talking to people that be smoking and then talking to you.
People be saying that, bro.
So Bam is top what to you, Lane?
He's a top 5 center.
To me, he's top 3. I think after Embiid and Jokic, there's no other center better than Bam in the league.
Are we considering AD a center?
I consider him a power forward, but if we're gonna consider AD a center, then Bam is 4.
Okay.
So I think that's where we had him anyway when we was ranking these dudes.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
I'm saying before, especially after the playoffs, people was like Bam scared to go at Robert Williams, Bam scared to go at Al Horford.
But saying he's underrated, I think that's a little bit of a stretch, bro. Because again, like
especially his offensive game is extremely underrated.
But you got to realize, like,
because he's on a team full of
he's a second
killers.
option, bro. He's a second option, and then when Jimmy's not playing, he's a first option. You know what I'm saying? So Bam has a lot of wear and tear. So I
wouldn't call Bam the first option.
Tyler Hero shot 2 for 30 the other night, so
that's why he's the first option. He's just not making the shots.
No, bro. Bam.
It's not because you making it and they make you the first option. Tyler Hero is the first option on the Heat. Jimmy Butler ain't even on the first option.
If the Heat but they played through Jimmy, but being the first option doesn't mean he's obviously going to have the most.
Bro, as a Heat fan, the offense is.
That's who you run your offense through. That's what I'm
Jimmy
saying.
In the regular season, Jimmy is not the first option. He be chilling. In the playoffs, I get you. Jimmy is the option.
Bam can be the first, second, third. Bam could be any option. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So naturally, the Heat are going to utilize him, even though they have been. They shouldn't be. I don't think they should be utilizing him to be guarding the best player at all times, even though he has the capability of doing that, and he has been doing that. So I wouldn't say that he is underrated, bro. Like, because he's still, what you say, guarding the best player
and not getting DPOYs.
But he's also dropping 32, bro. He dropped 30. You know what I'm saying? He's also scoring efficiently too. He's not underrated. He is where he's supposed to be.
You ask some Wizard fans right now, they'll tell you Kristaps better than him, bro.
No, they wouldn't. They're stupid,
bro.
Yeah,
that's
stupid
what you
if
call
they
a
do.
casual, bro. Bam is making a name for himself.
If I had a chance, and I'm a Wizards fan, if I had a chance between Kristaps and Bam, I would take an RP. Shut up.
Bam is 100% making a name for himself, bro.
I feel like his name is already made, and you say he's making a name for himself. That's why he's underrated.
Because he has to do it consistently, more consistently.
That's an
You
opinion.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
If he keeps it up, it's going to be no doubt. This conversation is going to go from being Bam is top 3 to Bam's the best center in the league very, very soon. So then that's not underrated, bro.
Until he's doing triple doubles, yeah. Until he's doing triple doubles,
But when he's
I don't know. He get up there to 25 and 10 with the defense. It's
what's
going
your criteria though? You know what I'm saying? What's your criteria? Being an efficient
Impactful.
two-way player.
Just being impactful.
Do you think that any one of those players are a better two-way player than Bam?
Jokic is up there.
No, Jokic is not up there as a two-way player. But his
I'm talking
offense,
all-around
offense
player.
supersedes everything. Because he's the best offensive. I don't know. I like what.
But again, it's not like Bam doesn't have an offensive game.
Yeah, I don't think Bam can be a better two-way player than AD. I think AD is the best two-way center.
Okay, I
forgot about
Embiid and Joker. He's a better two-way player than both of those players, bro. So
yeah, Embiid, Joker is the worst two-way player out of all of them.
Yeah.
He's also
so this conversation will quickly go from him being top 4 to best center in the league, bro. For the reason
he got to get it. If he could get up to like 27 points a game, then yeah, I can see where that conversation could go. But see, I'm here for it if we can get it up there. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into the All-Star starters and talk about if there were any snubs, if there were any snubs. But so finally got the All-Star starters in the West. You got Steph, Luka, Braun, who's the captain, Jokic, and Zion.
Come on, Steph made the starters?
Yeah.
Who else was gonna make it in the West?
I got another one.
Devin Booker. He ain't been playing.
Oh, I don't know who Chubb's trying to start. I hope he ain't trying to start Shy. Kevin Durant. In the East, Kyrie, Giannis, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell. So my question to you guys is, who are the snubs for this starter list?
Well, I'll go easy. I only have one for the East. I don't think Kyrie should be a starter. If anything, I think Joel Embiid, just because of the.
You can't take a guard out for E7.
Oh well, if I'm doing that, damn, that sucks. I hate that little criteria BS. So I mean, I'm taking out. Damn. I can't take him out now. Damn, I can't take him out now. That sucks. East is staying the way it is.
Yeah, I think they got it right. I think they honestly got it right, only because Kyrie would be the argument, but he has been turning up for the past last few games. So I don't know who you would take out to replace Kyrie.
I know who you taking out. Because Giannis is a starter. No, because Giannis is the captain, I can't take him out.
But you would take out Giannis if you weren't.
If he wasn't a captain, I would take Giannis out. But because Giannis is a captain, I gotta take out KD. And you gotta make Joel Embiid a starter. And
yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it was between KD and Tatum, but Tatum got the number 1 seed in the East, so you gotta keep him as a starter. And what you talking about? Why are you looking at me like that?
It was between. Tatum wasn't an option, bro. Like,
yes, he was. He was 100% an option.
Tatum wasn't an option.
Yes, he was an option, bro. What are we talking about?
KD,
he's the number 1 seed. So I'm saying, like, if Giannis wasn't a captain, Giannis is out. But I'm gonna take KD out. It's between KD and Tatum. They gotta get out. Either way, Joel Embiid got to start.
So really, it's between KD and Giannis.
Essentially, yeah, really, really, really. I mean, it's Giannis. If we just talking fair, right? Yeah, Joel Embiid has to start. Like Joel Embiid's leading the league in scoring. How is a guy who's leading the league in scoring giving you 33, 9, and 4 not starting in the All-Star game? That's absolutely ridiculous on the East side.
Not a better two-way player, bro, and he doesn't attempt 15 free throws a game. That's why.
Oh my God.
Well, so
no, I mean, I would agree with you though. Like, Giannis, he's not. Y'all know how I feel about
that. Was gonna be my flip, but I couldn't do that. I mean, I was. You said the criteria. Kyrie, I was gonna be my flip and putting Joel in there. Just why not? But you can't do that because of stupid criteria. But
I low-key think Jaylen Brown should be starting over Kyrie, in my opinion.
I saw some graphics like that. People think Jaylen Brown should be a starter.
You keep getting hurt.
But that don't matter because look, this back to the West. I got AD over Zion, and AD hasn't been healthy the whole season, and they still got Steph in there, and Steph hasn't been there the whole season. That's the only reason why I can't pull Steph because if I put AD in, I can't pull Steph out for that reason and put Shy like I want to. Because Shy has been balling
Shy
this
has an
season.
argument, yeah.
So I really want to put Shy in there, but I can't pull Steph and put AD in because they both have this similar situation, both missed games. So
Yeah, to me, I'm taking out Zion and putting in AD. AD was playing at MVP level, was the defensive player of the year candidate, like leader before he got hurt. So I'm taking out Zion and I'm putting in AD as a starter. What do we feel about the news that they're not picking teams until the day of the All-Star game? So they're basically going to line up and pick people like
I
in the
like it.
gym.
I like it. That's awesome. That's a pickup
That's
game.
lit.
That's
Yeah,
lit.
that's lit.
That means
That
no
means
practice. No
and that
practice.
means like tensions are going to be high too. Like, oh yeah, all right, you ain't
Oh,
gonna
you picked me
You know,
last?
you picking people right in front of them. Like that's definitely going to make what I'm saying. All right, bet you ain't want me. Let's do this.
Pick me. Right.
You
That's
gonna
gonna be lit.
Would you get in your feelings if you was picked last?
If I'm a
Yeah,
starter or a
I'd be
reserve.
sick. I'd be sick.
Well, starters gonna get picked first automatically.
I'd be sick.
Well, I'm saying like even the starters, like if you don't pick me first and I'm and I'm in the top 10 of a starter, like come on, bro, like I would probably be in my feelings. Bro. Like, it's 10 of us. I'm like, bro, this is the best of the best. So if I don't get picked within the top 3,
Because
I'm just like, all right,
every
bet.
single one of them, even the reserve, think they're better than the other player in the NBA because everybody thinks they're the best player.
So that's like how does that work? Like they lining, like you said, they lining up, so they have to pick guard for guard, forward for forward, because you do have to have 3 and 3 or 3 and 2.
No, you just pick how you want to pick.
So it can be a team of straight like a 4
Straight
guards and 1
bigs,
forward.
yeah.
That is wild. That's crazy. I'm anxious to see that, man.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm excited to watch it for sure.
If you how do you feel if you're like literally the last pick from the reserves?
I'm gonna be hot, bro, because like when they do it on TNT, it's cool. But like, imagine you just warming up, you just sitting there in your warm up jacket, not knowing what team you on, bro, and it's like, all right, I got him.
You pick last on that.
Yeah, pick last on that shit in front of everybody, bro. I would be so hot, bro. Just imagine, like,
get picked,
and with the last pick in the, and with the last, they gonna call you Mr. Irrelevant of the NBA All-Star game.
Mr. Last pick.
Like, it would have been funny. Remember when they picked when Braun picked James Harden last because Katie ain't want to pick him. That would have been hilarious.
With the last pick, I'm taking Draymond Green. He'll be sick if he did that. I don't even know if he's a reserve, but
that would be hilarious, bro. I got a question for you because I brought this up a little bit, but what team is the best team not to win a championship? So you got the 08, 09 Cavs. That's with Braun, Mo Williams, Delonte West, Boobie Gibson, and the crew, right? You got the 2001, 2002 Kings. So that's with Chris Webber, that whole crew, Bloody Divac, Mike Bibby. You got the 2017, 2018 Houston Rockets, James Harden, Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, Trevor Ariza, PJ Tucker. And then you got the Magic with Shaq, Hardaway, Horace Grant, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott. Which of those teams are you saying are the best teams not to win a championship? Put them in order.
I'll go first. I'll go from 5 to 1. I'm gonna say 5 Orlando Magic because I mean besides Penny and Shaq, yeah, Horace Grant was there, but like
don't diss Nick Anderson either, bro.
And but with the other teams on this list, I got them at 5, and at 4, I'm about to go LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers.
Bro, how you put that Braun Cavaliers team above the Penny and Shaq
this was the
Magic,
young goat.
bro?
This was the young goat. This is the young goat carrying.
That Magic team will beat the fuck out of that Cavs team.
Hey,
bro.
Zilgauskas is showing up and Anderson
Oh
Oh
Paris.
my god, bro! Please stop, bro. Please stop.
Number 3.
Pavlovich.
You said the Kings, Rockets. What's the other team? What was the third one? What was the third one you said?
I said the Kings.
The Magic, Rockets, Cavs teams, and I don't know what else needed.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the last one.
Why I can't remember the last one either. What was the last team I said?
Well, that's my third one.
Rockets.
No, I got the Rockets. I know the Rockets. The Rockets and Kings. What was the third one?
You mean the fourth one?
The fourth one. Whatever. The fifth one.
I had the Kings, the Rockets,
Magic, Cleveland Cavs, and who?
I think that's all I named.
You named 5 teams, Wayne.
Did I really? I don't think I named 5 teams, bro.
Didn't you name 5 teams?
I got the
might have.
Cavs, the Kings, the Rockets, and the Magic.
I thought you named 5. My bad. Then my second's gonna be that Kings team, and my first gonna be that Rockets team. Just because that Rockets team was up on, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, put your camera down, bro.
My bad, bro.
I thought you were talking to me, but I put that Rockets team 1. That Kings team. Because that was prime James Harden. That was in shape James Harden.
I go Kings, Rockets, Magic, Cavs.
I got an exact order: Kings, Magic, Rockets, Cavs.
That was scoring title James, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but like the collection of talent. And actually, I got the Rockets first because they went toe to toe with the best team we think has ever been assembled,
right?
Which was the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I put that team first. So I go to Rockets, Kings, Magic, and then Cavs last. I don't know why you didn't have the Cavs last, Chubbs.
That's LeBron. That's why.
But that's Shaq. What are you talking about?
That's Bron.
It's Shaq too. Shaq and Penny. Like that's crazy.
That's Bron and Mo Williams. What you talking about,
bro? That's Shaq. That's Braun.
Big Z.
That's Shaq, bro.
Daniel Gibson. Come on, man.
Bro. After Braun, that team get real nasty.
Wally Zerbiak. Come on, man.
That's crazy, man. All right, man. Next question. What is the best era of basketball? We're going 80s. We're going 60s, 50s, 70s, 90s, 80s, 2000s, the 10s.
Oh, I hated this. I had a difficult time picking between the 90s and the 2000s. I had a real difficult time because I think right there, like those
nah, bro. It was easy.
20 years.
One answer, bro.
What you mean? You don't say anything recent.
That's only one answer, bro. What do you say?
I'm gonna go 2000s because you had a lot of lit players in that time. You got Bron that came in that. You had KG, Dirk, Kobe, Shaq, prime Shaq with the Lakers. There's a bunch of lit ass players in that time period. Like I can't just and AI, Dwayne Wade. That was just a lot of lit players. 90s I wanted to say because those were all the Hall of Famers that people were talking about, like Pat Ewing. Michael
See,
Jordan.
that's why I don't give the 90s. Like to me, I agree with you. It's the 2000s because the 90s, the balance of wings and bigs is not the same. I feel like in the 2000s, you got like a good 10 to 15 great bigs, good to great bigs. You got the same thing with the wings and the point guards. In the 90s, I feel like it was all bigs, and then it was Jordan, Scotty, Clyde, Joe Dumars for a little bit of them years. You know what I'm saying? It was not nothing crazy.
I was thinking the 2010s, but now
the bigs is lacking in the 2010s.
The 2000s, it definitely
2000 was like everybody was in their prime. It was like crazy.
You had Melo on the Knicks. You had the Dwight Howard. You had the Celtics team. You had that Lakers team. You had Dirk team. 2000s was definitely
Spurs. You had the Suns that was good for that run.
Yeah. You had the Heat dynasty for 3 years.
AI dropping 60. Yeah.
2000s was lit.
Yeah,
Boston Celtics. Yeah.
2000s.
Bunch of could have beens. You know what I'm saying?
So hold up. Now let's go second best because we all agree on the best. What's the second best?
See, then I got to go the old heads, because these in the 2010s, a lot of these guys that were in the 2000s still played, and they were still established.
I'm going. It's 2010 easy, bro. I think the 90s get overrated, bro.
You think 90s overrated?
Yes, because and I love bigs, and it's just a year of the bigs, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why Jordan dominated because the wings weren't as good as him. The threshold for the top wings in the league, it was a huge difference.
What do you rate the 90s? Top 3, or you put them in the fourth by default?
Fourth.
You said it's overrated. Because there'll be 2010s and 2020s right now. She's saying 2020s number 3?
Nah, I like the 80s a lot, but
if we talking 80s, come on.
I like the 80s, bro. I love the 80s, bro. I like the 80s over the 90s, bro. Even though it really was two teams that dominated it, but it was just like I just feel like the league was a little bit more balanced, bro. Like I felt like in the 90s, you got like 3-point guards that was really like super killing it because Isaiah, Magic, and all them, they were coming out of their primes. Like it was really dead and stuff. Like, and then you don't get the point guards really till the late 90s when Kidd and all of them come. You know what I'm saying? Like really think about the point guards during Jordan time. It's really just John Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah is falling off. Remember, he's like a little bit. He's in between Bird and Jordan them coming in the league. So you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Niggas was hyping up Nick Van Exel. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like,
nah, don't sleep on Nick Van Exel, bro. He was balling with Kobe.
It was, bro. But come on, bro. Eddie Jones was an all-star in the 90s, bro. I love Eddie Jones. He legend. But come on, bro.
Spud Webb.
You know what I'm saying? I think
I definitely go 2000s, then the 2010s, and the 80s and the 90s. I agree.
That's all right. I think
because I feel like even when Jordan won most of his championships in the 90s,
he won all his championships in the 90s.
He ain't won one in the 80s.
Nah, he won all in the 90s.
No, all this championship 90s.
Yeah, so
and that's what I'm saying. That's when like all the wings and all the guards like. I ain't trying to shit on Jordan competition because he had to go get some amazing bigs. Amazing bigs. The big man. It was the big man league. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I felt like the wing players weren't up to par with what they were in the 2000s, the 2010s, and then you probably could say the thing but you still had like I feel like it was just more balanced in the 80s.
Like right now, the bigs are. I mean, except for a couple of them, it's like not how it used to was. Like it used to
what
be.
You mean the bigs are the bigs are the best players in the league right now?
The bigs the bigs.
But it's not like how. It's not like how it used to be.
They're not bigs. They're just big players. You know,
right, they're big.
They're not true bigs, Dwayne. You know they're not true bigs.
Embiid and Jokic are true bigs, bro.
No, they're not, bro.
Yes, they are. They're big.
This man is shooting threes. He's not a big.
Oh my god,
threes. They're not big.
Bigs are shooting threes back in the day, bro.
They're big in build, but they're not true bigs. That's why Shaq always be like, bro, I would dominate these players. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Shaq could say that because Shaq is just would dominate because he's big as hell, regardless. So,
but hey, I forgot. Oh, all right. This brings up new topic because we're talking about eras. Did y'all see what Spencer Dinwiddie said? About the 60s and 70s, if you put him in the 60s and 70s or even the 80s,
he'll cook.
He'd be like how LeBron is right now.
I ain't gonna lie, Spencer. I don't know.
He said I'd be LeBron James.
He'll be nice back
with
then.
Jerry West and stuff. He said,
but I don't know, bro. I don't know, Spencer. I don't think he'll be. I don't think
he said because he jumps higher than everybody, he'd be faster. That was his reasoning, his abilities.
That's how I know he's sorry, because he's trying to backtrack evolution so he could be good. Like, of course, you bigger and stronger than everybody back then because you evolution. But back then, they would have put your ass at small forward, power forward. You wouldn't be playing point guard.
Facts.
Yeah.
They would be like, you play small forward, and you got to play some defense, you got to go in the paint. And all the dribble moves you do now, you couldn't do that back then. Facts. So we would see.
Yeah, because he was the topic was basically somebody brought up Jerry West and he thought Jerry West's career was overrated just because of the time period he played in.
Nah, Jerry West was nice. People got see. People be disrespecting people.
So
He did go 1-9 in finals,
and
but
then
Jerry West,
then his counter rebuttal was you can't deny what he did like in his era because he was great in his era. But he's saying you put the players like that they are currently playing right now against these guys, they be getting whooped. He said, "Put me back in. I'm like LeBron."
that's like crazy. It's always the average players that say shit like
That
that.
say like that.
Yeah, like you average, bro. Like what are you talking about? Be quiet, bro.
Like that
What you
comment
doing
that
now?
made about
What are you
LeBron.
doing now, bro? He's like, you put me back then, you know. And it's like, nah, bro. What are you doing now, bro? Tell me what are you doing right now, bro? Like, stop it. All right, man. I'm gonna skip that Dame topic because I feel like we talk about it all the time, and Dame just doesn't want to leave, but he should leave.
He need to get some help, bro. Dame need to
Help!
stay.
Help!
He need to stay with Portland, but he needs some help, bro. That's just the bottom line.
But nobody wants to go to. Who wants to go to Portland? It's
Nobody
like,
wants to go
who wants a
to-
vacation in
He
Cleveland?
passed up the opportunity when KD was available. You know what I'm saying? That's the help we needed.
All right, man. Let's go ahead
Anyway.
and get to these Mount Rushmores, man. So we're gonna get to the Mount Rushmores. First team that we're gonna go with is the New York Knickerbockers. Who do you guys have on your Mount Rushmore?
I'll go first. I got the greatest Nick of all time on
Carmelo.
paper.
Carmelo.
Patrick Ewing. And then from there, I picked Willis Reed, who's the only MVP and Finals MVP in franchise history. I got Walt Frazier, and on my fourth selection, I got Bernard King.
Oh my God!
Melo did not make my.
You better not have Melo on there, Smooth.
Melo did not make my Mount.
My God! Y'all don't have Melo on y'all.
No, we don't have Melo on the Mount Rushmore of Knicks. He
Y'all.
about to not be on the Mount Rushmore of the Nuggets. That's why he is overrated.
He's overrated. The top 75 player.
He's
and
five
still
though.
lead-
He's
still
five.
lead
He's
top
not,
15 scoring all time.
Melo's you missed last episode. Melo overrated as hell.
bro. But the only reason why, bro, Bernard King had a bigger
Oh,
impact
tripping.
than Melo did as a Nick.
Everybody had a bigger impact than Melo did. Chubbs,
Melo
my
was
list,
five though.
Chubbs, my list is just like yours. Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, Walt Frazier, and Willis Reed. Melo 6. I got Earl the Pearl Monroe before him too.
Oh my God!
I don't have that.
I got everybody I got except for Bernard King. I got Melo. Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, Willis
Dang,
Reed.
And that is why
Melo.
Bernard
I might
King
put John Starks
underrated.
before him too.
Oh my God, Dwayne.
I swear on me.
Tripping.
Melo's so overrated, bro. Raymond Felton. Who else I'm putting about Melo? Marcus Camby.
Raymond Felton, bro, get out of here, bro.
Stephon Marbury.
Landry Fields.
Mark Jackson.
I'm
Mark
joking.
Jackson.
Melo is number 5 on my all-time.
Bob McAdoo. Who else I'm putting before him? Shit. Spencer Haywood.
All right, bro. Come on, bro. Let's get to this.
Latrell Sprewell. All right. The next team on the list, we got the Atlanta Hawks.
This shit was nasty. I don't really know a lot of these guys.
I don't
but
think none of us are gonna be the same for this one.
I got Dominique because I mean he is the most known player that ever wear the jersey. So I got Dominique. I got Bob Petit, he's a 2-time MVP for the Hawks. So I don't know the last time MVP came from Atlanta. So I got Bob Petit. I got Lenny Wilkins and Lou Hudson.
I got Dominique Wilkins, Moses Malone, Pete Mavericks, and Joe Johnson.
Nasty.
I got Dominique Wilkins, Mutombo, Joe Johnson,
Thank you.
and Al Horford.
You went more modern. Okay, yeah.
Big
I was
and
going
in.
to say
Josh Smith. Yeah.
Al Horford was better, man. We going to the Bucks.
I think this is probably the easiest one. I got Kareem, Oscar, Giannis, and Ray Allen.
I don't have Kareem or Ray Allen because I have Kareem on my Lakers one and I have Ray Allen on my Celtics one, which is y'all gave me hell about. I got Giannis, Oscar, Michael Redd,
And then
Sidney Moncrief.
yeah, I got Oscar, Kareem, Giannis, and Sidney Moncrief. And then last but not least, we got the Phoenix Suns.
Got the.
There's only one answer for this one.
I got the greatest. I got the greatest son, Charles Barkley.
Is he the greatest son? Hold on.
I think so. The greatest player to ever play on that Suns. Yes, he's better than Steve Nash. Steve Nash overrated. But Steve Nash is number 2 on my Mount Rushmore. And then I got Kevin Johnson. I got Amari Stoudemire.
Mine is the exact same, but not Kevin Johnson. Grant Hill.
I thought about him, but
sorry for y'all. He would have been the best son of all time.
So I have.
Oh, do you want me to say it for the clip?
Is it for the clip?
Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Charles Barkley, and Grant Hill.
I got Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Grant Hill, Charles Barkley. All right, man. Y'all got anything we want to talk about before we get up out of here?
Midseason MVP picks.
we already did that last.
We did that. We missed that. But who do you have?
Oh, you already know.
Jason Tatum?
I got 2. Jason Tatum's still my. Actually, he has just jumped Luka for me for being top MVP pick. But I wouldn't be surprised if Luka, you know what I'm saying, does win it. But right now, Jason Tatum just playing at a phenomenal level, efficiently as well. So
I got a question for y'all. And then this might be a very, very slim chance of happening. But do you guys think it could ever be possible if this team goes streaking and then making playoffs? Because I saw it on NBA today and I thought it was interesting. Do you think 38-year-old LeBron James could win the MVP this year?
They would have to go on a 20-game win streak.
they would have to make playoffs.
They would have to be a top 4.
He's playing unreal right now.
And they'll probably still give it to AD before they give it to him.
All right, well,
AD, what? Has AD been playing?
He just came back.
He's back. He's back.
Because I watched him like 2 nights ago.
He just came back
He
versus
came from Spurs.
And is he snapping?
Yeah, he had a good.
He came off the bench, minutes restriction. He had like
so
some.
If he's dropping 50 points in 30 games, is that impressive?
What you mean?
We always talk about like it's easier to do that when you're playing less games, right?
But before AD got here, he was the best player on the Lakers.
LeBron dropping 48 when he got to. Now he not winning, but you know what I'm saying? He's still
He was
winning now.
dropping 50 and was winning.
With LeBron.
No, it was with Russ, not LeBron. Oh no, he dropped the 50 on the Bucks. Braun did play that game. He did play that.
Why am I playing, bro?
So it's not possible. It's
Yeah,
Tatum or Luka or bust.
I don't. It's Jokic or Luka or bust.
You don't think Tatum will win?
Tatum is going to get it?
Nah, his team is too good. They're not gonna get. It's like the Jalen Hurts effect. They're not gonna give it to him.
Interesting
But do you think he deserves it? That's the question.
Not if Luka's a top 4 seed in the West.
See, that's not fair, bro.
Luka balling on a team that
Should be a lottery.
But that's the whole issue. He's supposed to be winning and he is winning and he's playing very, very well. So how do you get mad at him for that? Or how do you not get mad? But how do you discredit that?
It's not discrediting. It's just someone's playing. If Luka gets him to the 4th seed, Luka's playing better than Tatum.
But it's not discrediting because think about it. Just think about it, Dio. It's called most valuable. And to Wayne's point, Jason Tatum is surrounded by a fucking squad. Luka is out there by himself practically. He is more valuable.
It's not practically.
I'm being nice. He's more valuable to his team than Tatum is to Boston.
I don't know, man. I think they're equally as valuable to their teams.
Question: you take Luka off the Mavericks and Tatum off the Celtics. Who has better record? Who's winning more games?
I think it's the same impact.
Nah, I think there's no doubt in the world that the Celtics are winning the championship.
I think it's the same
if
impact.
Luka was on the Celtics, there's no doubt in the world that
I think it's the same impact
not even that.
because Jaylen Brown still sucks.
Take them off the teams. The Celtics are still a competitive team and winning a hella games.
Competitive, but they don't get to the
bro.
finals.
They got a squad. They're top 4 team in the East, top 5 still.
Top 8.
Nah, you're tripping.
They just lost to the Heat.
Why are you saying it like that, bro?
He's not a bad team. He's not a bad team.
But they didn't have Jason Tatum was the only one playing, and they lost by 3. None of their starters was playing.
Jimmy ain't play.
Bam did.
Jason Tatum did. The hell?
He was guarding.
Bam did.
Peyton Pritchard had the green light that game. Get out of here, bro.
Listen, man. Everybody's telling the Heat to blow it up. Quiet as kept with the 6 seed.
And
we're going to be right there, man. So.
Nah, y'all going to have to play the Bucks, and that's going to be Giannis going to hear you talking.
We had the Giannis stopper on our team, so I don't know what you're talking about.
The Giannis stopper.
Yeah, we got the look up who Giannis has his worst games against.
I know, man. You're into that thing. You like looking up players that have worse games against certain teams. You're just a stat watcher.
I watch the game and watch Giannis look very uncomfortable when Bam's guarding him.
What y'all gonna do about Lopez and Drew?
What you gonna do about Bobby Portis?
Put them.
He hurt.
Yeah,
he hurt.
Bobby.
When he comes back, we gonna do.
We gotta make a trade though, because we can't be Derrick Martin being our power forward, bro. That's gonna be a problem.
And Duncan, ain't he hurt too?
Who?
Gabe Vincent ain't playing too good.
What happened to what happened to the other Joker, Jovic?
He don't get no minutes. He don't be getting no minutes.
That was a cold take.
That man.
What I said, I ain't picking to win Rookie of the Year or nothing like that.
No. You said he was about to come in and give production because he was like another Joker.
I did not say that, bro.
Yes, bro. Look good.
I did not go that far. I can say that, bro. Don't say that. I said he's coming to give us production. I ain't saying another Joker now. We don't use him in a way for him to be another Joker. And he be looking lost as hell when he out there. I'd be like, yo, take him out. But like, damn, that mean Deadman got to come in. Damn.
That man nice, bro.
No, he not. He a dead man walking when he out there on the court.
No, I'll give Joe Fish a bit of a doubt. Give him a couple more years because like I wasn't too high on Denny at first. I mean, what's seen his play, and Denny's actually playing pretty good for the Wizards now, even though we're not winning a lot of games, but he's playing pretty well.
That's not watching the Wizards, bro.
So I'm faithful. I'm not no like you know.
I don't even get that channel out here.
I do. So I watch it. It's not the prettiest, but when they do win, it's pretty impressive. I'm like, why can't
league pass, bro?
I'm like, why aren't we doing this every day? Like, we actually look pretty good.
I mean, y'all suck. Like Spencer Wood did when he said, y'all not playing to win.
And then guess what? Guess what? We beat them, and then Kyle Kuzma said they ain't playing to win either.
It's crazy, bro.
What they beat him with? Luka ain't played.
We don't play to win, nor do we play to lose either. So it's just like a lose-lose.
I mean, y'all in the play-in, so I respect it.
I predicted that. That was my prediction.
Y'all not gonna be in the play-in when they.
We're not that bad to tank like that. We're like an average team. We're not like you know what I mean?
Not an average team. An average team is an 8th seed. Y'all are below average team.
We're not playing. That's average.
But yeah, like it's because y'all just went on a 4-game win streak, bro.
Kyle Kuzma,
yeah, bro.
Because Brad Beal's back.
You got to go on a 4-game win streak before you go on a 10-game win streak.
Brad Beal is back. It's
when the season's over, y'all gonna be the 12th seed. It'll be all for nothing. All these wins. So
what about it, man? We traded away our next best asset. So
Rui. Oh, we gotta talk about that. What do we think the trade for Rui does for the Lakers?
I think.
And what the hell are you guys doing,
dude?
What you don't know?
So yeah, Shaq doesn't know nothing about no Wizards. He only knows top 10 players. He says he didn't. That's what he talked about the trade. But, so I'll give you a little breakdown of why Rui got traded and what I feel about it. I think it was stupid from a GM standpoint because this guy was a top 10 lottery pick, was still in his like 2 or 3 year in his contract, and we trade him for a backup point guard and 3 second-round picks that are not
He
going
about to
to
start on your team. Who y'all point guard? Ish Smith? He better than Ish Smith.
I think
Ishmael
Monte
don't play
Morris
with
is
us no
just
more, bro.
on the team. Ish Smith's not on the team. But
He better than Monte Morris too, bro.
but back to what I'm saying, like this was a lottery pick that didn't get to see the end of it with your organization. And
What were you keeping for? Kyle Kuzma, underrated player.
right, and I'm getting to why they did it. I'm just talking about from the value of the trade standpoint. I think obviously the Lakers won it. I don't think it was the best trade for the Wizards. But reason why they traded him, he wasn't getting a lot of bump. There's a lot of forwards on the Wizards getting playing time. You got Kuzma, you got Denny's getting playing time. They play the same position. You also got KP, who he could go in for occasionally because he's not the smallest guy. Rudy's not the smallest guy. He's 6'9". But there's a lot of people that were ahead of him, and he wasn't getting the minutes that
losing minutes to Denny Avila is very telling.
Right, but the thing is, he was still averaging 13 points a game, coming in as the 8th or 9th man. So that tells you something right there. He's got something, and he's a great shooter. He's highly efficient at shooting. I just don't know why I didn't work out.
Great or good?
For where he comes in at,
highly efficient.
Is what I'm saying. He's I'm saying he's efficient for the position he'd be coming in as.
Yeah.
And now you're getting LeBron James that could probably amplify that, hopefully. So I think it's a good pickup for the Lakers because he can shoot the ball, he can rebound, he can drive, he's athletic, he can do everything, but he's just not like an elite player, just a good player, role player. But that's a big pickup for the Lakers, though. Even though Kendrick Nunn was playing pretty good for the Lakers, and they got rid of him.
I don't know what Kendrick Nunn you was watching.
No, he had a couple of good games in a row before they traded.
Yeah, he did. That's why they was able to trade him because he.
That's all I'm saying.
Increased his
recently.
He increased that, but I agree. I think this is a good pickup for the Lakers for their rotation. But Darvin Ham just has this thing where he wants to play 3 guards all the time, like 3 inefficient guards. So it doesn't make sense why he keeps doing it over and over again. But he can definitely help Braun. They could go to a big man lineup. Where they got
I think he'll end up starting if they go to the playoffs.
I think they're really missing Austin Reeves. That's what they really missing for real.
Lonnie ain't playing either. Both of them hurt.
Yeah, they missing both of them. They spread the floor a lot better than what Schroeder and Patrick Bev do because Patrick Bev can't shoot for real. That they just got him on the court for defending, but I feel like Austin Reeves is a young player who was actually playing well with LeBron as well as Lonnie Walker. For him to have a green light and be able to be an ISO player with LeBron. Addition to Ryu coming in and as well as AD, I think they had a good little 6-7 man rotation with them, but it's kind of, like you said, he's playing these guards for whatever reason. The only guard, honestly, who should be playing big minutes is Russ, and I would say Russ and Beverly from time to Beverly coming.
You don't like Schroeder?
I think Patrick Beverly adds more to the Lakers than what Schroeder does because I feel like Schroeder slows the game down too much and he really can't create his own shot. And I would rather have Patrick Beverly on the floor who can hit a shot here and there, but who can also defend.
Schroeder plays good defense though. I think that's one of the most slept on aspects.
But think about it: if you got LeBron. You got Austin Reeves, you got Lonnie Walker, AD, and Ryu, and then Russ and Patrick Beverly coming off the bench. What do you need Schroeder for?
I would prefer Dennis over Pat, in my opinion. Because Dennis can. You say he can't create a shot, but he can though. He can get to the lane. He can shoot. He played good enough defense. Him and Russ together work better than him.
That's why I said I would just think it would be. That's Russ's game more so than what I need Schroeder for, So
but Schroeder can catch and shoot though. But I guess you would say Pat is more equipped to catch and shoot.
Or Austin Reeves or Lonnie Walker. You know what I'm saying? Those players can fill that void with Schroeder. You don't really need a ball handler like that. But to each his own. We'll see what they do.
All right, man. That is the end of the episode. Y'all got anything y'all want to say to people before we head up out of here? Hopefully Patrick Milhomme wins because He can't lose to Joe Burrow 4 times in a row.
Go Chiefs.
Did we pick who you had? Who you guys are? Niners or the?
I got the Niners. Primetime Purdy.
Niners or Eagles? Eagles.
Yeah,
This
I got
is
Eagles.
where Brock Purdy's little
Reign ends.
playoff high ends. You know what I'm saying?
Say it with me, guys. I believe.
Hold up. Do y'all think it's fair that Brock Purdy's gonna get the Rookie of the Year?
No,
I don't care personally if it doesn't happen or doesn't.
nah.
He's gonna get it.
I'm not upset.
The fact that he's a finalist doesn't make sense to me as well.
Small sample size.
I'm not upset. People like how people are. If it happens, it happens. I don't really.
I agree with Smooth. It's small. It's like Chris Olave was literally like leading chance
If
of Rookie
anything,
of the
Garrett
Year.
Wilson or Sauce would be my Rookie of the Year.
Well, it's offensive and defensive.
Well, Garrett Wilson then would be my Rookie of the Year if it was me.
I think Chris Olave was snubbed by the finalists. I think he probably should have won it too. Him or Garrett. Kenneth Walker got a call too because he was on the playoff team as well. But like, I think Brock Purdy only playing 4 regular season games or what was it? 5 regular,
6
regular season games and about to win Rookie
or
of the
6
Year.
or 7. I think he played 6 or 7.
About to win Rookie of the Year and he didn't even play half the season. It's kind of wild to me. And now, everything's a QB award though. I think it's unfair, but I want you Smooth. I want the Eagles to win. I want the Brock Purdy era to end.
Wow, you guys are haters, dog.
It's not even an error, bro. I don't even know. What
He
to
just
call
wants
it.
he wants it to end because he don't want Trey Lance to be gone.
I mean, Trey Lance leaves. He's gonna be ball wherever he's at, so it doesn't matter to me.
He played.
He has to stay healthy, Dwayne.
He played.
Bro, he got hurt 1 year, and now he got to stay
He was
healthy.
9.
We won't say that
How
about
long you been in the
Lamar.
league, bro?
Say that about Lamar.
How long you been in the league,
played
Dwayne?
6
2
games
years.
regular season. My bad. 6 games.
He's
6
been
games
out
regular
50%
season.
for half of his career.
But hey, he's undefeated as a starter, man.
All right, man. Until next time, man. My name is Wayne, and we'll see y'all.